What? We're back? It's already 2020? And we're still doing this? Yeah, we're still doing this. I'm your host, Ra Kalan. Welcome to the box of feelings that is energy in motion. Let's get it going. Happy New Year, Vibe Tribe. Like, for real. Happy New Year. I am so thankful for the break that I got to have, but I'm also thankful to be back with bigger ideas and more excitement about what I get to create this into, which is something all my own, something all our own. But this is my show, and I'm excited to let you see who I am through this. So this season, there are going to be some different things, some asides. It won't just be me having a regular conversation. It'll be me giving some insight over what I processed and took away from that conversation afterwards. There will be some funny behind the scenes stuff sometimes. There will be some more meaningful take a beat moments and some other segments that we implement in. So I hope that you're excited, like I'm excited, especially if for no other reason than for this awesome guest that I have for this episode. But before I get into who she is and all of what she does, let me remind you of a couple of housekeeping things. Whatever you're listening to this on, if you have not already subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe so that you have easier access to getting the updated episodes that will be coming out weekly. So whether that is on Anchor or Apple Podcasts or Pocket Caster or YouTube or Spotify, I'm on all them things and above. Please make sure that you subscribe. And then once you've listened to this and you're like, dang, that fed a part of me, that spoke to me, please share it with at least 2 to 3 people. At least 2 to 3. I know there are more people in your life who could use these conversations, but we'll start small and then we'll build you up to more. But we want this conversation to be happening not just between you and I, me and my guests, but I want it to be happening in your household, in your work conversations, when you talk to your kids, when your kids talk to their friends, because if we can all be a little bit more responsible with our box of feelings, then I think we could all be a lot better off with how we treat each other. You down? So let's go ahead and get into who I get to host for this opening episode of season 2. This woman, my God, if you're in the DFW area as a whole, you've probably heard of all the different things popping off at this dope place called For the Culture Studios. It's in downtown Dallas. It's this beautiful, white, magical place where Black people of color can go. Let me just keep it simple with the words that the owner herself uses. She is creating the culture, a culture of acceptance, a culture of education, a culture of business savvy, a culture of loving that melanin and manifesting what you need to. She is creating the culture. She's also an amazing chef. She's also a world traveler. She's also an artist. She is all things self-improvement. I'm talking about Victoria Samone, the owner of For the Culture Studios, and an amazing person whose brain I got to pick. You can be sure to follow her on For the Culture Studios on Instagram if you want to do some digging and find out all the amazing things she's about for yourself. But here in this episode, I did some digging for myself and walked away with countless gems that are going to keep me motivated throughout 2020 and the rest of this decade, which I am claiming for myself. Are you claiming it for yourself? Okay. So you need to listen to this episode. You're going to appreciate all of what she has to share. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this conversational, motivational melody that's going to keep you pushing through 2020 and beyond. So, hello. You want me to, right? You asked me, and I took the invitation. And so I looked and I was like, so this woman cooks meal preps for other people, not just yourself. You own For the Culture Studios, which was it a 2019 endeavor? Or did you start that in 2018?
I started in 2018 at another location.
Okay.
But the new location, we just started in April 2019.
Okay, because that's when I first became familiar with you. And so that, and then all the traveling. And then you paint. I didn't realize some of the art in For the Culture Studios was your artwork. I thought you were just really a philanthropist. You're like, oh, come creatives, you know? So to be a businesswoman and a creative and a cook and a traveler and an Amazon. So my first question is, how do you do it? Okay. So everybody knows how do you do it is a basic ass question. But I took a look at how I spend my own time and wondered, where is she getting time and energy to do all of this? And the answer she gave, y'all listen to this.
Well, I don't really like to watch TV or anything, and I like my mind to always be active.
Yeah.
So if I ever feel like my mind is idle, I'm either going to go insane or I'm going to find a way to make money. And that's just how I've been, like, since I was a younger person. Like, there's some free time here. Like, what can I do?
What? Being less interested in the typical distractions and being more interested in her own self-improvement proved to be invaluable for Victoria.
I always wanted to be the most efficient person. Even when I was in trouble and I had to write, I will not do this over and over again. My goal was to beat my time from last week's detention.
Yeah, I'm going to get it done quicker.
Right. So it was like, when I have free time, I'm always thinking, like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
And so after always working like that, one of my sister's friends, he told me, he's like, you need a hobby. And I'm like, my hobby is like eating and like sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Those are fulfilling for me.
Right. That feels so good. Like, anytime I have free time, that's what I do. He's like, no, you need like a real hobby, something that you choose to do.
Yeah.
And so it was like in 2016 that I decided to like try painting.
Yeah.
And I just went and bought the stuff and was like, I'm going to do this. And I sucked at it. And so I was like, I hate sucking at stuff, so I'm going to do it until I'm good at it. So really everything just comes out of boredom and not want to suck.
So that's one of the most relatable things I can think people need to hear, because we all hate sucking at stuff, which is why I think a lot of people are led not to try something.
Exactly.
You're afraid of sucking, but if you're willing to give that grace period of suckage for, you know, however long it takes, however long you're willing to be consistent at it, you can beat your previous time, your previous score, your previous painting, and create something beautiful. Have you found that you really enjoy the journey of suckage to being great? Because some people really avoid that and hate that. But do you find fun in it now that you realize you're kind of capable of anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of an addicting type thing. Like, once you did something that you felt like you couldn't do, it's like, I wonder if I can do this too. Like,
what else is possible?
Let's try this out, huh? So yeah, I absolutely have become addicted to that feeling of conquering something that I felt was impossible.
And the thing is, each of us really are fueled off of this desire to feel like a conqueror. Some of us are more inclined to feel like that because we had experiences and events in our life that already validated that we are a conqueror. So we're more inclined to approach difficult things. While others of us, if we were ever shamed or embarrassed, experienced trauma, then we are honestly less inclined to move towards difficult things to conquer because it's too risky and we're just trying to keep ourselves safe. And while that is completely understandable, it still doesn't change the fact that you're naturally a conqueror.
Even when you were younger, you always were interested in being effective. You were always interested in, like, you know, if I did this quickly, I need to do it quicker the next time. How did you start to navigate that building your confidence? Because maybe when you're younger, becoming effective is just a great thing to avoid boredom. But you had to build the confidence to even approach things that were new to you.
That is a great question. I don't know when that began. It probably was like just instilled in me, like, by my mom. She was a go-getter as well. Like, she did everything too. So it's like just watching her and seeing her do any and everything. It's like, oh yeah, I can try that too and see where I land. And literally it was like I don't know where.
The whole, what is it? Shoot for the moon and at least you'll land amongst the stars.
So that's really what it was. Just really watching my mom, even my dad. He was pretty, try anything. Got to. So it definitely came from my childhood experience, I think.
If you have parents like that, though, I almost feel like they are that safety net. Because they live by example. They show you, like, I'm doing stuff that maybe I wasn't great at before, but I'm making money, I'm providing for the family, doing it now. And they almost give a freedom to it. I don't think people often feel the freedom if their families did not try new things. And so what I loved about my upbringing was my dad had plans to be a lawyer. And then he ended up becoming a window cleaner because he married my mom and they needed money right away. And this whole law school thing was taking a little while. And so he built a whole business on his own. that led him to be able to travel when he wanted to travel. We were homeschooled growing up. So if we were learning about geography in the Grand Canyon, he's like, let's go to the Grand Canyon. Let's up and go. Cool. So that's why meeting people like yourself and finding you even being more ambitious. I would say I'm just as ambitious as you are, but I still get afraid. I still get intimidated. And that frustrates me because I know that on the other side of that is a bigger, better me. And so what would you encourage those who are ambitious? They know it, but they're still intimidated. What do you encourage them to do?
Just do it.
Do it scared. Be scared to do it anyways.
Just do it anyway. Like, what's the worst thing? That's what I have to tell myself. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I fail and then have to suffer the public shame. Shame.
You fail. Okay. Then you know what not to do. Okay. Yeah. And then you can try it again or try something different.
Yeah.
But the worst thing that could happen is that you fail. I'm like, what am I going to die?
Yeah.
I'll probably still try some things that might kill me
too. Yeah, a couple times. Skydiving or something, try something out.
But that's the thing I just always tell me, what's going to happen? You're going to die?
Yeah.
And if I don't say yeah, or maybe, but it might be worth it, just do it. Please just do it. And don't quit. That's the difference between the go-getters, the ambitious people, and those who just, watch from the sidelines. Is you don't quit.
Yeah.
You just keep going and find a different way around the obstacles.
Yo, that's a gem, though. Because we have to learn how to take redirection from the universe without completely losing our confidence. Because just because there's an obstacle doesn't mean you're going the wrong way. It just means you have to find a new way, a more creative way to get around the obstacle.
I love the idea of the importance of confidence tying into that because I consider myself a pretty confident person. But at the end of the day, I think previous beliefs, previous fears of being embarrassed or seeming like, well, you tried it, but it didn't go the way you thought. So are you really cut out for that? I think those thoughts seep into people's heads. And so it's been in my late 20s that I've gotten more accustomed to only really comparing myself to the me I was the day before, not comparing myself to other people, not comparing myself to those who seem so ambitious, but that's only because they started somewhere.
Right.
They started off where I was, but they chose to, like you say, keep going. Yeah. So what have been barriers that you've encountered that made you stop for a second and made you think like, okay, am I cut out for this?
Yeah. So financial barriers, for sure. Like, I don't have any investors or anything. Like, literally everything I do is off of my teacher's salary.
Come on. Pay your teachers.
Please pay us some more. Because I'm like, Lord. Like, my little teacher's salary and doing Uber Eats and, my little side hustles, like the meal preps and all this other stuff.
Okay, real life, though. Financial barriers is most of our challenge. Let's be real about that. Most of our excuses are based in, I don't have the money, where's the money gonna come from? Great question. The answer is side hustles. There's a side hustle in each of us. We just have to be ambitious and confident enough to unlock said side hustle.
But yeah, the financial barriers was the biggest thing for me. And like, even being knee deep in the studio, like it was 1 month where I text my sister, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm trying so hard to do this. I had hired these contractors and he came and he did it completely incorrect. Then he came back and tried to fix it and it was still incorrect.
And each time he came, it was money.
Yes. And so the last time I'm like, I cannot pay you anything else. I need you to just fix it and do what you were supposed to do in the beginning. And he was like, well, I'm all out of products. Like, I can't do anything else. I've already spent the money on everything. So I'm like, okay, you're going to leave my place looking like this or I have to come out of pocket some more. And I ain't had nothing else in my pocket. So I just text myself, I'm like, I'm not cut out for this. I cannot do this. And this is for somebody who's rich or, someone who can get all types of loans.
Funding something.
100% perfect credit. Like, I was like, I can't. And like, I'm done. Like, I have nothing else. She was like, well, you can't quit. So what are you going to do? Yeah. I'm like, I don't have any money. So I quit.
Yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly. So she was like, whatever, just call me tomorrow. And so I was like, cool. All right. She just left me hanging.
Yep.
And I'm glad she did because that just made me think like, really, what am I going to do? Yeah. Like, why is she saying it's going to be possible? Like, it must be possible. And so that's when my hands start to tick. And
the gears get turning.
I figured it out. And then the next month I was like all this abundance of money. And I'm like, what?
Oh,
how is this? Like, I went from not having any more money to getting that job done and then having an abundance of money the next month.
Magical, right? But that's how it happens, y'all. When we can quiet the panic that our limited scope causes us, and then we choose to listen to that sacred guidance coming from inside of us, then things work out in a way that we could have never imagined. And that's the beautiful part. We can't imagine how she went from no money to all the money she could have ever needed and more. But that's the magic that you gotta believe in.
Believing in yourself, and once again, just not quitting, because I was literally this close to calling the realtor like, I ain't gonna have your money this month. Go ahead and just cut it off.
Cut it all off, man.
I am done about.
So the moral of the story is, hold on just a little while longer.
It's always that last breaking point, that last moment when you're like, well, it's either turn around or push through. Yeah. And I think those are the moments that really do remind you are capable of anything.
And that's the big test, I guess, that everybody has to go through. Like, is she really going to quit, or, is she going to push through whatever?
Yeah. And I think we often connect that to, we always say, like, life is testing us. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an easy way to say it, but I don't think life is testing us in the sense of it wants us to fail. Mm-hmm. I think life is giving us examples of, you are made of more than you thought. Yeah. And you won't believe it unless there's something on the other side, unless I show you that you are bigger than that.
And it might be hard, and we might hate it, but the truth is, without these expansion moments, without these growing pains, we wouldn't actually take the time to recognize just how big and magnificent we truly are.
Do you still find moments with how ambitious you are and how much you've overcome that you still get intimidated by stuff?
Yes, absolutely. I still get intimidated all the time.
What? Like by what?
Just like large projects. Like, I'm working on a large project right now and I'm intimidated by it. Like, and it's a lot to do. And I know I'm going to have to be like super, super disciplined and like cut out a lot of things in order to make it happen. Yeah. So I guess I'm just scared that I'm not going to want to get rid of some of the things that I'm doing now to just completely focus on it. So that's just really making me nervous. Like, are you really ready to go this step? Yeah. Which I know I am. I just have to really go back to a place that I was, you know, when I was super focused and diligent. So I get intimidated by big projects. I get intimidated by growth. Like, people ask me, okay, so what's next for the Culture Studio? And I'm like,
because they're so excited and they're loving what you're doing. So it's so supportive when they ask, but I'm sure it's like, oh, don't ask me again. Don't ask me again.
It's like family asks, okay, so when's the baby? Or where's the husband?
Yeah, like, oh, let's pipe down now, auntie.
I mean, right? Like, so I get intimidated by that too. Just knowing that people are expecting more. And they want it like soon.
But isn't that such an encourager also? Like, you're expecting more and I want to give more. So I'm going to find a way.
Exactly.
And a way really is going to find you. Exactly. Yeah.
Remember, you don't have to have all the answers to move forward. And when you've done all that you can do, just know that a way is going to find you.
Well, as we shift gears from more of the personal side to the businesswoman mindset, what are the projects that are coming up that you can speak to? I don't want to talk about your moves too early, but what are projects you can speak to that you're really excited about?
Definitely the event that I just told you that's intimidating me. Yes. Is the Melanin Manifestival.
Wait, what?
The Melanin Manifestival.
Melanin Manifestival. Ooh, I like that.
And that's,
a big old title.
Yeah, girl. Loaded. It is loaded. So it's all about mental health, physical health, and financial health. Okay. In our community, in our culture. And I feel like education is really the key for a lot of people. And if you're educated in these multiple things, so your mental health, your financial health, and your physical health, your body, that will be the foundation for your growth, for your prosperity. Not just for the new year 2020, but for centuries to come.
Consistently.
Yes, consistently. So it's going to be a bunch of panels and workshops and, of course, music and art because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But mostly education and panels for everyone to get educated. So, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's happening. I just kind of really made it official this week because I started posting all about it. So now it's gotta happen.
Yeah, now
that's
the
fuel.
thing. The social accountability with this social media. People be like, but 2 weeks ago you posted and said, it's like, would you shut up?
Exactly.
I deleted it.
Exactly. Posted, deleted like 30 minutes
Delete it out of your mind. Take it away. But I love that. So there are a couple different groups that I've started working with. I was talking to you on the phone about the More Than Mental Project and people like that who are those agencies that are looking to support people of color, people in general with resources for their mental well-being. And so I want to make sure that I'll definitely plug y'all in together. But are there any other partnerships outside of this big event coming February 28th? Are there any other partnerships that you're looking forward to making in 2020?
Definitely I would like to partner with more people to do workshops throughout the year. Just free things that people can come to during the week so that we always have, something positive for people to do for the culture, whether it's art, whether it's, home ownership or, whatever that it is that, most people will be interested in. I want to put out some posts to see what people would like to see for the culture.
I like that.
So that I'm providing what the community wants and needs.
Yeah, and you also will know that they're going to show up because they asked for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. And so that reminds me of just how sweet I thought it was way back in August when I reached out to you about wanting to do the homecoming experience.
Oh, yeah.
And you were just so like, I really like the message of what you're doing. So yeah, let's work it out. It was so great. It was such an easy thing because that was one of my big steps too. Of like, okay, so I have my master's in clinical counseling. I want to actually go about working with people and getting certified as a life coach and doing events. And this is my first step out there. Yeah. And to have met someone who was so receptive so quickly, it really was a big step. And you made it easier. You made it comfortable, even though it was an uncomfortable space to step into. And you offered your beautiful facility and it meant so much. So thank you for that.
No problem. I really enjoy helping people as much as I can. This literally... If I could help, girl, it's like you're a mind reader. I was just thinking earlier, if you have it in your power to make someone's day, why won't everybody just do that, once a day, and, see how it makes them feel, and, see how it would make you feel.
Yes. Only growth can come from it.
Exactly. What's the worst thing that can happen? Just go and make somebody's day. You ain't gotta make everybody's day. No. But at least one person a day. So, I don't know, that's really my thing. So, I'm glad you
were walking in your purpose, truly walking in your purpose, because all the different things you do still tie into blessing people, whether it's the cooking, whether it's the art and giving people an outlet to interpret for themselves, or whether it's creating a space for people to put on events that they were previously intimidated to do, but now they feel confident enough to do. You are definitely doing that regularly.
Thank you.
I wonder about that, though. With the whole idea of why don't more people, if you have the power to make someone's day, why don't they? Yeah, it's probably just a sense of a fear of lack. There's not enough for everybody.
Right. If I give, then I'm going to...
Yeah, I'll be without. Yeah, I'll be looking stupid. Yeah, exactly. And people are afraid of looking stupid. I think that's the biggest fear when it comes to not being as ambitious as we could be. Helping other people, trying new things. Yeah. Apologizing, talking about our emotions. We're afraid to be embarrassed.
Yeah,
it's all about fear.
It down to embarrassment. And I even had to come to terms with that too. When I fail at something, I would be so upset with myself, literally upset
angry.
With me. And I had to get down to the root of it. And why are you really so upset? Why is this making you so angry? It's because people knew that I failed. If I would have just failed in silence.
Yeah, it'd be a little less bad.
Okay, brushed it under the rug. Yeah. It comes down to being embarrassed.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, they hopefully are focused enough on their own endeavors that even if they did notice, that event that you said you were putting on, it didn't happen, they could reach out and encourage you about that.
For real, though, let's support each other past this I failed and I'm embarrassed bullshit. Let's stand for each other and let's make that the culture.
So I think taking that fear of embarrassment and twisting it around to being more receptive to people who are trying new things, I think that can create a space for everybody to really feel supported. Because when you feel supported, even if you get embarrassed, your team's got you.
Yeah.
They got your back. And I think we need more community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think people really forget that not only am I human, but you're human
Yeah.
too. And not only do I have feelings and all this stuff running inside of me, but the other person does too.
Yes.
You can't see it, you can't hear it, all those thoughts running through their mind, but they have them too.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that.
Essentially, we all kind of forget that. And that's why I'm thankful to have guests like Victoria, to have conversations like this. And that's why I'm even more thankful for listeners like you. Because if we didn't have these conversations, we might actually all start to think we're doing this alone. And we're not.
No, I think you're touched with this gift of just being effective, this gift of not being easily distracted by the usual things of the TV and all of that, the social media. You do it because it helps promote your business.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something fueling you that is so natural. It's innate to you. And I think that's the part that's so exciting. And so is there a secret ingredient that you would be aware of to your success?
Okay, so this is not a question exclusive to Victoria. I want to hear everybody's answer. So if you know your own secret ingredient to success, comment it. Reach out at II of EnergyNMotion on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn to share your well-seasoned secret ingredient.
I would say I do read like a lot of self-help books.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only books I can actually read. I can't really read like nonfiction.
Yeah, I'm too egocentric. I need to know how it'll help me.
Yeah, I need to read the self-help books, and I feel like that is major key, as well as I guess this fear is a key for me. Like, I'm afraid of being a failure. So I always wanted to be somebody that my mom would be proud of.
Yeah.
So that is what really fuels a big part of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know when she passed away, she was kind of worried about me.
Was she?
Yeah, like I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. I was just free.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whatever happens.
Yeah.
So, like,
a responsible free spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I don't know what it's going to be.
What that going to look like?
Exactly. She's like, find your rich husband if you have to.
Yeah.
But just please.
She's provided for.
Just do something. I'm like, I'll figure it out, girl. I'll figure it out. So, just making sure that I actually make her proud and know that I figured it out. I didn't have to go find a rich husband.
Yeah, I didn't have to marry
I am the rich husband.
Yes, come on. I am Moneybags.
Right. So that fuels me a lot. Like, what would my mom think?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to, make her proud, and
Yeah, I would say I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a aspiring life coach. She wrote books. She did art pieces and did lessons and went to schools and was a nonprofit. She had a nonprofit called Fruit for the Soul Artisans, all about teaching people through West African and Adinkra art. And so she passed away when I was 22. And at that time, I was still just kind of figuring it out. I was out of undergrad. I was pursuing grad school, hadn't gotten in yet. But all of the things that came after her passing, she was the fuel for.
Yeah.
And I tell my dad all the time, I don't know if I would have been so motivated if she hadn't have passed. Because I wanted to almost catch up with what had already left.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm doing it. You see, I'm doing it. I made it. Are you happy I made it? And at the end of it, I know all of it was just because your mom, my mom, they wanted us to make it for us.
Yeah.
They wanted us to see we could do it for us. And so, no, we aren't going to have to marry rich. We're going to be able to provide for ourselves. We're doing that. But it doesn't change the fact that, God, I would love to see her face seeing me do it. You know?
Right?
That's
I was
the part.
just thinking that earlier today. I was like, I would love to see her face to see what I'm doing right now. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like those exact words.
Yes, I want to see her
like,
see
literally
me.
2 hours ago.
Yeah, but that's real life though,
Yeah.
because that's when your mama loved you right. That don't leave, and so you're still being loved on. And you're like, I feel it, but I want to see you. Yes. Cheers to moms. Cheers to moms. Yes. Thank you for coming, girl.
And I'll kill that Stella.
Oh, girl, there's plenty more. You want another?
I think I would need a little.
Yeah,
little
taste. Get you a little, pour up. Sure enough.
I'm gonna do it scared, but I'm gonna do it either way. I might not have all the answers, but I don't have to have all the answers in order to move forward. There are a lot of things I don't know, but there are a lot of things I didn't know that I learned and that I use every day now. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I have enough experiences that might make me feel like there are things to be afraid of, but I also have enough experiences that let me know there are things to look forward to. I know that I do not have to do this alone. It's me. It's my responsibility to get myself up and going, yeah, but I don't have to do this alone. If I do everything that I know how and I stay open to knowing that it doesn't have to work out the way that I thought in order for it to be great, then I feel like a way will be made. And maybe that's whimsical thinking, but whimsical thinking has gotten me this far. So why would I doubt my whimsical thinking now just because there's something new that I'm afraid of? Each time there's something new that I'm afraid of, I act like it's the first time I'm afraid, and I'm not. I'm not new to this. Fear isn't new. So why do I keep giving it power like it is? The object of which I'm afraid of might change, but I'm not changing. I'm going to stay solid in the fact that right on the other side of doing that thing that I'm afraid to do is the me that I am aching for. It's the me that I'm frustrated to be without. And I'm not gonna let me be without her any longer. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for always giving me a space to share everything that I am. And there is so much left for me to share with you. And that's why it's good that season 2 is as big as it is. That's why it's good that I have everything planned for season 2 that I have, because me and you, we about to get real acquainted. And I'm no longer sitting in the position of, I want to feel like I'm teaching you all something. I'm learning stuff and I'm just sharing what I'm learning as I'm learning it. So a lot of these take a beat moments moving forward are often going to be me speaking to me instead of me always just speaking to you, because we both need to hear this message. And I'm proud and excited to share it with both of us. So I want to thank Victoria Samone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your hustle, because your mama inspired you and she's still inspiring you, but girl, you are inspiring the rest of us. My mama thanks your mama for raising you the way she did. I'm thankful my mama raised me the way that she did, so that we as women, especially women of color, can grow to heal a community. And that's what we're trying to do. At For the Culture Studios, at EnergyNMotion, we are trying to heal a community. And we're gonna do it. So make sure you follow her at For the Culture Studios on Instagram so you can come check out her amazing events. And then also make sure that you follow us on III in Motion on Instagram or on LinkedIn or on Facebook. Subscribe to the video that you're listening to right now, or to the channel that you're using to listen to this video to right now. And make sure that you engage. These conversations are great between me and my guests, but the conversations you and I can have offline are even greater. So don't miss out. Don't make me miss out. I'm greedy. I love talking to y'all. So as always, Energy and Motion family. You get to feel whatever you feel, and you will always deserve to heal. Peace.